are about to start game 4. Ready to start game 4 here from 2014-2015 Girls Division here at the EBA Top 40. Marcus Burnett joined again by J.L. Hemingway as we approach the final exhibition game here for this particular division. Got Brandon Clay coaching on one side, Kyle Moore coaching on the other, which should make for a very good end of this particular segment here at the Top 40.
Marcus, it's been a fun day. For sure, a good opportunity for these kids to come in, get better, train with Christian Simmons and Adrian Penland, and at the same time get some gameplay on SUV TV.
Pringle looking to inbound the ball. Cassell lost the handle on that one. Comes white team the other way.
And that's Audrisha Merritt from Stevens County, 2014, unsigned senior. Good finish there by the guard.
Williams just short. Ball's going to go out of bounds off the hands of Ashley Parker.
Yeah, like I was saying there a moment ago, Marcus, this is just a fun opportunity. Get together, to be able to play, get better, compete. I think just a great way to start off the spring and summer travel season.
Which is always a good season for Team PSB when you look at the lineups of team tournaments, but also camps and showcases such as this one. As Merritt makes good on that trip to the free throw line. Pringle going to shoot the J off the screen, misses it.
That's Mallory Myers right there attacking the lane, getting downhill in a hurry.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, she can boogie, as you would say, Marcus.
Boogieing at the free throw line right now and knocking it down. As Brandon Clay touches base with DeAndre Pringle.
And I think this is a first in camp history. Brandon Clay was literally running he was setting the screen up alongside the point guard out there on the court.
Myers with it up top. Look like they were expecting him to come off the curl on that one.
I think right now the coaches are having more fun coaching than anything else.
Three-pointer on the way. Bounces around but won't go down. Pringle definitely helped alter that shot on defense. I think she also kind of anticipated some contact, threw it up quickly. Stephanie Watts with the ball up top.
Come on up, man. Come on up. Both of y'all stand. Yeah, give it to us.
Man. That one, she had previously hit one about 3 or 4 feet behind the line. That one obviously seemed like somewhere between 5 and 6.
Nice move there by Merritt. Merritt showing a little bit of inside-outside skill ability right there. Caught it, looked over the left shoulder. But falling right back is Stephanie Watts. Boy, it's amazing, quite honestly, Marcus, that we've watched this kid play for so many years. And yet, every time she comes into the gym, she still makes us shake her head. Right back the other direction is Meredith Schulte answering that three-point shot.
As Watts was a little off, she kind of looked at Brandon Clay kind of with the hand in the cookie jar look, and he says, hey, you're good for it. When you can shoot at that high of a clip, you know, a couple missed threes here or there, you know, I wouldn't have any qualms with that as a coach.
That's the infamous heat check.
Right.
Heat check shot right there.
Regroup. Pass touchdown.
Meredith Schulte right here picking up the foul, number 82 in white. We've mentioned Schulte before. Big guard, big wing. You see the physicality that she brings to the table, and her ability to really shoot the basketball a little bit more consistently has elevated her stock, you know, over the past 12 months. You see that she's just got, you know, very good body control, you know, around the rim, on the drive, being able to take the bump, you know, on the drive. You know, a kid like that is going to be able to find some time, you know, at the next level because of her size, strength, and skill level.
She was working inside on that last play. That three-pointer's off by Merritt, and it'll go back to the black team. Baseline drive, nowhere to go, but she drops it off to Cassell. Nice play right there.
Now Kyle Moore trying to implement this pass cut fill offense right now. A little bit too much dribbling being taken right here in that offense.
He continues to emphasize that point.
And now he's got him. Now he's got him moving. Two high school teammates right here connecting on this transition break. That's Blanding to Cassell. Shy Blanding, 2016 prospect, plays for Tony Watkins Jr. at Holy Innocents High School. Plays in the backcourt alongside of Kayla Pointer. But Erica Cassell holds down the front line there, and she finishes the bucket in transition.
Coach Tony Watkins doing a great job with that Holy Innocents team, as you mentioned, runner-up in the state finals here in Georgia. It's Brandon Clay still directing traffic out there. The team black as he touches base with Watson Pringle. Schulte with the steal, takes it right at Watts. Watts able to use that wingspan, blocks it, and it goes off of Schulte's heel. Nice defensive play there by Watts, known for her offense. Shows the defensive skills there on that play.
Yeah, quite honestly, Marcus, that's one of the things that we haven't talked much about is how good of a defender Watts could end up being if once she recognizes how good she can be on that end with her ability of her length, get hands in the passing lanes and things such as that. Good three-point shot there by DeAndre Pringle, getting things going here in this game now.
And watching Watt, she has very similar defensive potential, in my opinion, to a Nora Berry. As far as when you think about that size, you already touched on the wingspan, just the problems she can create on the defensive end for other teams.
Interesting that you bring up Nora Berry's name. She'll be with us next weekend at the CoachHemme.com showcase at Riverdale High School in Tennessee, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. The SUV TV will be there to broadcast all of those games. Looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, can't wait, man. All it takes is a smidgen of space for Watts as she knocks down another three-pointer. Kyle Moore gives us the Jordan shrug.
There's not much that you can do on that.
The Jordan versus the Trailblazers shrug after knocking down multiple three-pointers. As Schulte continues to attack.
Yeah. And I like the aggressiveness there. I even like the body control. She's just not doing a very good job of really collecting herself that extra, split second to be able to finish those buckets around the rim. That's something that she's going to have to work out here in the next couple of weeks as she moves into the travel season of the spring and summer.
As we see Watts get the bucket inside there, finishes with the left. And with Schulte, a couple different factors. You can also see that the camp is kind of taking a toll on her to where, she's getting to the rack and kind of trying to pull and find a second win, so to speak, which I think is great about the conditioning opportunities that this type of event provides as well. Then on top of that, she's playing through some contact that normally during the course of a high school game, she's going to go to the free throw line.
Sure.
But that's what it's about. I mean, if you can finish after being at camp for multiple hours, doing drills, playing against some of the best, taking the contact, not getting fouls that you might get in a game, if you can finish in that setting, much easier to finish in those that maybe aren't as tough.
You're right. Bob Knight always used to say, make the practices tougher than the games. And same principle here applies, to camp. You want to come in, you want to push yourself as hard as you possibly can for 2 hours straight, minimal water breaks. And then you get into gameplay and you're running up and down, so it becomes a little tougher in that way. But if you can make high-level plays when you are, the most fatigued, well, when it comes game time, it should convert.
We see Pringle, she gets the steal, loses it, but is able to pick up the pieces, kick it out for a jumper. No good. Looks like it's going to be last touched by the white team. It'll stay with black. Sell wants it inside. Ball will stay with black. Pass too short. It's stolen away by number 88, Carly Bearden. Three-pointer. No good. Cassell continues to eat glass inside. Gets that put back to go.
You can call her Erica on the spot because she always seems to be in the right spot when it comes to these rebounds.
No kidding. We've got plenty of that via SUV TV footage as well as Stephen Ely and Prospects Nation TV. Shout out to he and Coach Watkins who do a great job with the player evals, the recaps that you'll see from the slate of spring and summer tournaments that'll be coming up. Those guys do an awesome job. of hands inside by both teams. Ball's on the floor. It'll be a tie-up. A little bit over a minute left to play here in the first half. We're here at Bogan Park here in Gwinnett County. Gwinnett Parks and Recreation, they've got some of the best facilities, sports and recreation-wise.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, Marcus. I actually live about 3/4 of a mile from Gwinnett Park and Rec myself. It's always a good place to go and get exercise. Find a way to get some extra shots up on the outdoor courts myself. So never know where you might find a Team PSB member. I know that one Brandon Clay makes his home in the swimming pool from time to time here at Bogan Park.
Any gym is home. I wonder whether that applies to the pool also.
Well, I think he would say not any pool is home, but the Bogan Park pool definitely would be his.
I guess if any pool is home, you might not be in the best of shape. You can't just make any pool home.
All right.
Shots up, knocked down by Carly Bearden. It's going to be a timeout. Quick substitution break. Be sure to stick with us even after this webcast, as we'll flip it over to the boys' side of things. Got some solid players that'll be here today. We've got DeMarcus Simons out of Beaufort. He's picked up several offers over the past couple weeks. I say a cluster of them. We'll have Tukey Brown, his sister Alexis Brown. She's over there working with AP and Christian Simmons over there on the drill side of things. But
yeah, it should be a good one, Marcus. In fact, it marks, I would say the inaugural boys event for Peach State basketball, but it's not quite true. I was actually a part of Peach State boys basketball event way back in 2006. We hosted a showcase down there at Georgia Tech. But that was years ago, and we decided to put our focus and our attention, into the girls side really over the past decade. And here recently, we've noticed the need for, high school boys, exposure events, particularly, here in the area within Georgia, and given our work with Shun Williams with OnTheRadarHoops.com, we decided that's a pretty good venture to go into, and, that's what we're going to try to do here.
Let's get a quick halftime coaches interview with Kyle Moore, man.
Kyle Moore, thank you for joining us here. What type of adjustments have you talked about with your team?
I think the one thing we've got to do a better job of is just making sure we're sharing the ball on offense and moving it. We got some good shots in that first part of the first half, and then that kind of died down, and we got a little one pass and shot. We got a little shot quick, but and then defensively, that Watts kid, man, we got to do something about her. The Tanya Harding, we got rid of it, came out last week. I was thinking about that, but I don't know if that's going to be a Team EBA friendly move.
Let's not do
UNC
that.
wouldn't like that, would they?
Brandon Clay, thanks for joining us here at halftime. What were some of the adjustments that you talked about with your team?
Well, we just want to space the floor to shooters. You see Jennifer Manningham there take a quality shot. Great play there by Stephanie Watts. We're just all over the place right now, John. We're playing good basketball. We're taking good quality shots, as you see Watts hit another one. One of the things I told our kids at halftime, we're going to stretch you out. We're going to stretch you out. You have to guard us, man. Point blank, period. End of discussion.
Thanks, Brandon. Look forward to another great second half here, and definitely we got characters on the sidelines on either side, so that always makes for an enjoyable experience.
funny just hearing them kind of joke with Kyle about the fact that he's running a zone out there. I mean, in my opinion, Watts has already shot him out of it. But
yeah, I wouldn't say that the zone would be the the best thing to do. Is you put Jennifer McMahon, Riley Kopchak, Stephanie Watts out there. May not be the best thing to do to zone up those three deadly shooters.
So we're seeing a three right back at you, knocked down by Bearden. Just turned into a three fest most recently.
Well, Brandon predicted it. He said, we're going to stretch you out, that's for sure. And when you got three shooters like that, that's definitely going to be the case.
Most definitely is. Just saw one of the boys participants, Marquise Lanier out of Grayson High School, walk in. I think he's going to have a good EBA top 40 today. I think he's one of those guys that's gotten some recognition, but a lot of guys didn't get a chance to see Grayson play in person during this past school year. So I look forward to Lanier competing against some of the area's best today.
Yeah, without a doubt, Marcus. The EBA Camp Series, like we've mentioned before, is an opportunity not only to be able to bump heads, against some of the best, but also an opportunity for exposure, and that's what we've talked about on the girls' side and the boys' side. You talk about, two, of the better players coming out of the Augusta area, Jennifer McMahon and Mallory Myers both coming up here. Of course, we've had a chance to see them with the Georgia Sting for, so many years now. For them to be able to come up here, once again, be able to participate in our elite basketball academy, play on SUV TV. Augusta, sometimes gets left out of the discussion. It's not necessarily in the Atlanta metro area, so you might know Meredith Schulte more than, Jennifer McMahon. But now Jennifer comes up here, is able to compete, in these camp games, and now suddenly Jennifer McMahon becomes, much more of a name that you would be familiar with because of all of that. So sometimes, these camp exposure events can shrink geography in a way or two.
Yep. Schulte gonna be just short on that shot. Gets a hand on the ball before the black team corrals it in. Stop and pop by Deidre Harris is no good.
You gotta like to see what you gotta like what you see out of Deidre Harris, 107, freshman in high school, has now competed back-to-back camp events here and competed well as well, and now competing against upperclassmen. We're going to be joined here by Clyde Pritchard. Clyde, welcome to the broadcast.
Hey, how's it going? How'd hear me?
It's going well. You spent several games there on the sideline. What about some highlights of the camp thus far?
The big highlight is Robinson from AOT. Just seeing the growth from last year to this year. I knew she always could shoot it, but now she's shooting into the three really prolifically. As I saw in the state championship yesterday, she had about 4 or 5 real deep. Here she was real deep, and then even just the meanness she's bringing in, trying to dunk here at camp, that was just awesome. It just really shows you that the toughness that has really come to her.
You're absolutely right about that, Clyde. We've seen it for years, the potential, that is there with Kalaya, the length, the athleticism, even the skill stuff. Talk about, how you've seen all of those things really being able to come together for her.
It's just gelling. She's understanding when not to, when to set a screen. And even she's wanting to play. Like, she would come in sometimes and be like, I'm ready to go. But now she's like, I'm ready to play. I want to play. Like, put me in. I'm ready to make things happen. And then even when she stepped up on defense and said, hey, I'll guard Watts, and just really showed the energy. Like, that's the things you've always wanted to see out of Kalaya Robinson.
Yeah, you're right about that. some other players that really caught your eye from this weekend.
Oh, Stephanie Watts, I think of everybody has mentioned her, just showing the same type of energy. Like in the beginning, didn't really show like wanted to play hard, but now just playing hard through every play, showing she can just a true assassin, can shoot the ball deep, can attack the rim with those long, lengthy arms. Just really just demonstrative out there. And then you have Erica Castle. That's just really just mean and tough down there in the hole.
Yeah, we've really liked Cassell for a lot of years. Really coming off of that ACL injury now, and it's going to be exciting to see her coming, progressing through the summer. See how she can regain that original form, but certainly here, just she's working down here in the low post. One of those kids that has a motor that just never quits.
Never quits. I mean, just post up real strong. And then my player, my underdog player that everybody roots for, is just like a real good coach's kid, is Jocelyn, that plays for the Pistols. Just really just gets it, wants to play, just plays hard, and pure shooter, just can really shoot the strings out the ball.
Yeah, I really have to agree with you on that, Clyde. Jocelyn Belcher, North Gwinnett High School, unsigned senior. I think she's going to be a real gem, for a college program, regardless of the level or even the conference that, eventually gives her a scholarship offer. You talk about a kid that can play off of the ball, like you said, can knock down the three-point shot. What I was particularly impressed with here, and I've seen it before, her ability to handle the basketball, in a lead guard spot at particular times, but her coming off that ball screen, hitting the mid-range jumper, I thought was particularly impressive.
Oh, very impressive, because it broke our backs in that game, and I was like, wow, I've just never seen her just do some of those things, and she was just dialed in. And then talking with her earlier, just saying how, her options, and say, hey, I have some looks, but hey, I might want to do JUCO for a year just to get my game tight and raise it to another level, and that shows real maturity.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, and there's an example, there's a precedent, for her in that way. You look at Tiffany Lewis, from the Chattanooga area that her senior year ended up at Riverdale High School, now at Chipola JUCO down there. A qualifier, had a couple of Division I offers, but decided, hey, let me go down here to Chipola, like you said, get my game a little bit better, and then find a situation that fits me the best. So same type of situation could be available for Belcher as well.
Exactly. It's been one of the great camps I've ever. I mean, we've done it year over year, but hey, now it's really coming to real fruition. And as I'm very excited and geeked about the boys coming in and really see that next level of progression to where this is all coming toward for PSB and EBA.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, Clyde. I was mentioning to Marcus, just a couple of moments ago. I remember those positions we used to hold, right here. And it was, me, you, Brandon, and Kyle, Chemo, and some of those guys. We would have Tiffany Mitchell and, some of those, other very talented kids. But, the numbers were smaller. There was no SUV TV or no Prospects Nation. So it was, simply us and, maybe a pad of paper and, a couple of phone calls here and there. It's just really exciting to be a part of the process of really growing the game of women's basketball from a grassroots level.
Exactly. This has just been a great day as we wind up the girls session. I'm just, like I said, I'm ready to see these boys come in here and let's see the action really get to another level.
Yeah, when Kalaya came down on the break as Stephanie Watts, we'll come back to Kalaya in just a second, but Stephanie Watts, it's almost as if every time we see her, she surprises us, with her ability to make shots, kind of glide through traffic. But we've seen it so many times, it shouldn't be she does surprise us for one reason or another.
And you can live with some of the bad. She does take some bad shots at times, but you can live with those because you're coming back and getting 3-4 good ones right back to back. You know it. So Sylvia Hatchell's getting a gem. As we know, she's committed to North Carolina. She's 2015 kid committed to Carolina. She's getting a gem, like right on cue. Bang, bang.
Well, how do you see her, fitting into, that style of play, or even that conference play. We watched Carolina and Duke last night on television. Where do you see her fitting in, to ACC play? Do you see her as an impact player her freshman year, or is she going to be a kid that could be a six-man, instant energy? What do you think, Clyde?
I say for the kids that are at Carolina now, please practice over the summer, because she is coming and she will make a serious impact. Because you're talking about 6'1" Diamond DeShields and 5'11", maybe 6 foot Stephanie Watts on your wing.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
Yeah,
both of them can shoot it deep, attack the basket. They have problems. There's the problems coming to Chapel Hill.
Hey, let's not forget about Alicia Gray.
Jessica Watson, Mavunga. They have a good, solid young class right there. They're going to be there in the next couple of years.
Yeah. Our director of scouting, Kyle Moore, was actually at the game last night, and his comment was they are just so talented. They're so young and talented, as it is right now. Now you bring in another kid like Stephanie Watts with so much more firepower. North Carolina could be in the makings for making another Final Four run, huh?
Exactly. And then you're talking about Jamie Cherry, which is 5'5", full of feisty fire. That can, I've seen her a couple of times. I saw her a couple of years ago as a freshman at Virginia Tech team camp, and just giving out just numbers of shots and buckets, getting to the rack. She's just incredible. So they have a good young class coming in again.
Right. Yeah, I've seen Cherry play a few times myself. Was always, very impressed with her. So the depth, that Carolina could have, and that, quite honestly, when you talk about the elite teams in women's college basketball, you're not talking about 2 or 3 good players. That's not what wins championships. Everybody's got, maybe one All-American, or maybe, 3 or 4 top 50, players. But when you talk about the Notre Dames, the Connecticuts, the Tennessees of the world, they go 5-6 deep. McDonald's All-Americans, top 25 players in the nation. Carolina is really setting themselves up to be of that type of caliber.
Exactly, and like I mentioned, I just watch UConn, and I watch them in awe, because they're like a well-oiled machine. They're very efficient, and then I just love the way Gino just demands greatness, and that's something that Carolina just going to have to get back to, demand the greatness, which they have the tools coming and there to have that great run as they had back in the days of the Ivy Ladder, Larkin. They have those tools.
Without a doubt, it's probably for sure more than we ever know. Probably been very hard, and a nice drive right there by Mallory Myers, the lefty out of Augusta, Georgia. It's probably been hard, with Hatchell, being, sidelined for the year, and so that transition, with the coaching staff, is, with a young freshman class, as it is, it's probably been tougher than, the outside world could even know.
It's got to be. I know she's, but her associate head has done a fine job. He's kept them in the running, but with all that talent, hey, me and you could be over there. It's just an exceptional talent. I just made an awe of them, and they're just young right now, but as they mature, it's going to be, fantastic.
Well, Clyde, you being from the Charlotte area, North Carolina, you're very well connected in that area. Who are some of the names in Carolina that we should look forward to over the next couple of years?
I'm going to tell you, 1'6'4", Jatari White, out of Providence Day, McDonald's All-American. I see her in the gym works out with Tim Fields as her trainer. She's really, ball handlers come along. I think we're going to see great things out of her at South Carolina, along with Tiffany Mitchell and Sessions and all in that group. And then if they add the one piece, the lottery piece that everybody's waiting on, A.G. Wilson, things are just going to be very interesting up and down the East Coast.
Very interesting indeed, Clyde. When you start talking about the traditional powerhouses of women's basketball, it's usually centered around Storrs, Connecticut, and Knoxville, Tennessee. Now South Carolina is starting to make a push. We've mentioned North Carolina making a push. Notre Dame has, obviously been within that conversation, certainly, with Skylar Diggins over the years. So let's, and not to mention, let's don't forget about Texas A&M. They've won a national championship here within the past 5 years. They were, in the semifinals of the SEC last year, as well too. So I think when you talk about women's basketball and parity, I think everybody would like to see a little bit more parity and not just see the same, colleges, time and time again. Your thoughts on that?
It's been great. Like I said, we can even go out west to the Cows, UCLA, even to our great friend Mike Neighbors up there at University of Washington, the job he's done in recruiting. Even our other friend Karen Ashton down in Texas, where they're having Hosey coming in, and that group from Texas Prep come in. I mean, she's just done a great job. Everybody's doing a great job of just recruiting and expanding that talent pool, and which we said has been great, where these great head coaches with great assistants, and we've seen them just spread out. Now it's just going to be a fight.
Yeah.
Everybody's gunning for the number one shot.
Well, Clyde Pritchard, thank you so much for joining us here on SUV TV. Stay tuned for the boys session of EBA Top 40 Camp. Until next time, I'm Jonathan Hemingway. He's Clyde Pritchard.
Let's go.
That's just so much fun. I tell you, man, you always love having you on the broadcast, man.
Yeah.